my crew. Another day, another outing trackside. This time on a cold December evening, we find ourselves in Duluth, Georgia, specifically right outside the Southeastern Railway Museum, where right before us sits a manifest. This manifest being Norfolk Southern 154 with the ET44AC on the front and a WFRX Mac trailing second.
Nice.
Always love to see those. Now, originally, I was supposed to see this train in Duluth. I'd actually met with the main man, that model guy, and we had hoped to see this train pass by in the limited time that we could spend at Duluth together. And then it broke down.
Bruh. Are you serious right now, bro?
So, yeah, that was that. I have no idea why they broke down. I don't know what went wrong. All I had heard from Duluth was that the crew was talking about how they had stopped right outside the museum and how dispatch had said that they were about to call mechanical out to the train to see what was going on. Any specifics past that were unknown to me.
Somebody mentioned another one. You should have looks like it might be another one coming by.
I was, however, picking up some weird call for a train to pick up.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Alrighty, we'll do it.
I don't know how to describe it, but the dispatch kept saying something about maybe P72 could pick you up, and I didn't know what they were talking about. What that update did let me know, however, was that P72 was coming, and with that beautiful pink sunset surrounding us, P72 came rumbling by as 154 sat awaiting its next instructions. With P72 now gone, it was more waiting. Mechanical still hadn't showed up at this point, but I could still hear over the scanner dispatch talking about a pickup. And in addition to a pickup, someone was telling me about a Norfolk Southern 243 that was running light down south that might drop off a locomotive to try to help move NS-154 from the spot. I didn't know what was going on. Anyways, as darkness was expiring, and the Confederate Express showed up.
Oh my god.
Oh my, I can only imagine what it's like knowing a person like this. Yeah, go on. Light was quickly evaporating from our sights as the tone of the sunset was growing darker as the crewmate now exits the cab and starts walking towards that WFRX Mac. They would unfortunately go out of sight, so I didn't see what exactly they were doing, and before I knew it, this train that should have been at least 20 miles ahead of where it's at and been gone at least an hour ago was now still sitting here under whatever fleeting light remained in the skies. With this darkened environment, we can actually get a better look at the crew inside the cab.
Good evening.
And I was still hearing pickups over the scanner, and I still had no idea what was going on. What I did know, however, is that there was still more mainline traffic for us to see. As looking just behind the cargo of 154, you could see the glimmer of headlights on the rails. Headlights that would actually be from Norfolk Southern I-82, or an extra NS-282, that I was expecting to come up with more speed, but for whatever reason, it was crawling right by. I had assumed maybe because mechanical was down somewhere else in the consist that I couldn't see. And then more stuff started happening, because if you can look closely, despite how dark it is, you can actually see the crew exiting out of the nose of the cab. And after I-82 stops right here, they're getting into the second locomotive of this other train. Wow. I know, this really isn't something you see every day. I guess all the pickups that we were talking about was 154's crew essentially ditching their train and going onto I-82 so that I-82 could carry them to wherever they needed to go. After a little bit of I-82 sitting here and 154's crew settling inside that second locomotive, it wouldn't be long before the headlights turned on and I-82 prepared to continue up north. As for me, knowing that NS-154 was not going to be moving anytime soon, I ditched it as soon as the power cleared. Unfortunately, having to head back in the same direction that I-82 was going had a little bit of a nice chase, as I easily got ahead of them through downtown Duluth. With I-82 continuing over to his next stop, perhaps you're wondering, how did 154's crew just ditch their train?
I can't believe this.
Well, they didn't really ditch their train. The crew here did what's called deadheading.
What is this?
And perhaps you've never heard of this term before. Well, if we do a quick Google search, Google's AI overview, did y'all know that they have this?
No.
I never knew that this thing existed. Anyways, according to the Google AI, deadheading refers to when an employee rides on a company pass or on company business, or when a train or engine crew moves between terminals without performing service. This AI definition strongly models the definition that CSX provides on their railroad dictionary, another thing that I didn't know existed. And if you go to the Union Pacific page, they actually have their own railroad term glossary, and deadheading is described as the movement of a crew from one point to another, or to a train by vehicle transportation or by train. Basically, the deadheading that we are seeing here is when a crew is riding on a train that they're not actually assigned to be riding. And as they're riding on this train, they are not responsible for directing the train at all. There is another crew that is actually on the train that is supposed to be directing it to its next destination. And the deadheading crew is usually sitting in a trailing locomotive and just being moved to some other spot. In this specific instance of 154 having broke down, someone had said that they were heading over to the 243 light power that I mentioned before. Apparently they were going to go over there and pick up one of the other units and bring it back to 154. Take that with a grain of salt because this source has had a history of inaccuracies, but that's just what they said. Regardless, a deadheading was occurring right here. And it could occur for a number of reasons. It could occur because a train broke down, like we've seen right here. It could be because a crew lying out referring to when they've hit their 12-hour limit and they need to get off the train because essentially they're just working overtime at that point. Or it could be for some other reason. I'm no railroader, so I can't give you every minute scenario that could require a deadhead. But I can just tell you what I've seen in the past. If you follow this channel, you know that I've caught a few deadheads, and one of the deadheads has caught me. But anyways, it's not something that you really see every day, and it's a little cool thing to witness if you're not expecting it. For any of you more experienced and knowledgeable viewers who have more information to provide on deadheading, I would love to know in the comments. This is my little overview of what deadheading is, based on what I've just seen. A little example of crews working together to make sure that everyone gets to where they need to be when they need to be there. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little brief overview of deadheading and that you guys ultimately learned something. Until next time, my friends, God bless. I will see you soon out on the high iron.